About 420 delegates of the New Patriotic Party in the Kumawu constituency are at the polls to elect a parliamentary candidate for the upcoming by-election. The by-election slated for May 23 has become necessary following demise of MP Philip Baswa. 5 of the 8 candidates who filed nomination to contest remain in the race. The NPP in the constituency has over the years suffered division, a situation many believe has affected the party's electoral fortunes in the traditional stronghold. Organizer Henry Nanabwache speaks about closing party ranks after the election.
I think that we have done a lot so far. It's very unfortunate that our MP passed on. He was a very good friend. But by law, we are required to hold the election. And even the Electoral Commission came out with its guidelines. 23rd of next month, we are having the elections. Yes, we have done a lot, practically. For me, and then a team led by General Secretary, we've been frequenting the constituency. We've been engaging major stakeholders right from the grassroots. We've been engaging polling station executives. We've been engaging electoral area coordinators, constituency executives, even both former and then current executives. We have ultimately visited the premises of the Kumawu By-Elections and then other traditional rulers as well. We have engaged Council of Elders, we have engaged patrons, and even Parliament as a body. And so far, I'm happy to announce to you that the commitment exhibited by every single person towards achieving the unity that Kumawu constituency deserves has been phenomenal, and we are happy with it. We open nominations. You notice that, yes, we've gone through our vetting. We open everybody who intended to pick nomination forms picked up. They've gone through the process. Out of the process, 3 people voluntarily stepped down, and their reasons are very welcomed by the party, and it was voluntary. Today climaxes the entire process where we are going to elect our parliamentary candidate, and it's been peaceful. As we speak here, you notice that the atmosphere is very calm, it's serene. I've been monitoring the atmosphere days before. As a national organizer, I've been doing a lot of checks, and I'm happy to announce to you that so far so good. The campaign messages from the aspirants have been nothing but solid, excellent. They've been in fact, all of them are preaching harmony, peace, progress, development for the constituency, and that is what we are happy with. None of them is preaching division. I belong to this camp, I belong here. No. Everybody is talking about development and how we can bring the constituency together. I'm particularly interested in this constituency, not because of anything, but because I come from here. I come from Seche. Seche is within the Kumawu constituency. The district is Seche Kumawu district. So that is where I come from. So I'm particularly interested in making sure that there is speed, serenity, there is calm within this constituency, so that at least as a national organizer, I can also pride myself in saying that yes, Kumawu constituency is now up and doing, and then we are going to make very huge impact.
Yes. You think the peace that you are getting seemingly will help restore the dominance of the NPP that you used to have until the previous parliamentary election, where a certain independent candidate came in to close in the margins?
Oh yes, of course. I mean, as I said, we've met the entire polling station, electoral area executives, and in that meeting, you could see that there was a leader from this faction, a leader from this faction. They all spoke, and it was very symbolic. All of them hugged, and at the end of the meeting, I have received so many calls, people saying that, oh, organizer, what you came to do was very good, it's very calm so far, all of us, we are working together. So that alone was good. Afterwards, we've done a lot of individual talks, because there were some opinion leaders within these factions, and so far, I can boldly tell you that Kumawu constituency is very peaceful, is very calm. And I believe that the aftermath of Honorable Baswa's death, that is what the constituency wants. And even he himself, I'm sure wherever he is now, is going to be happy how the entire constituency is being united and coming together for this particular exercise. Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bernard Entry Boysiako, has described the independent candidate Kwaku Dua as a traitor who was turned against the party.
So independent candidates, and this is for question chintini posters in I agree. Kumawu what you say? I have said no MPP ni but why to say Judas Iscariot? Say Kwaku Dua ni di Judas Iscariot. What is why Kwatua? Why you Kumawu By-Elections? What you say? Aye, omo and the crocodile na chi. But say, wakwa any andisi fwa kwakoya ni poster nyina na ye green. First I want ban the poster nye say the net here. Eti ye wia yanini wo bika. What you say Kumawu fo bembe na hunu say. Aye NPP nti ane ye man na absa ba no. Enye onunu enti ane ye man no. Eti say ye wia ya ye a abra ode no ho akoba NDC no ya be ma obi ahu NDC for no I rely on it NDC for nim say omunya 2800 and something. It is this election no anya de asa ga NDC for no person omoba na mom kwatua kwakohunu omo ana omo amaniska so remember you Kumawu ma na enko no ho because say MPP ni NDC parliament ne ya ben na chesa man puntuo ho ayeden eti ya wi a kwatua ondo ayeden wo bika.
Now joining us live from Kumawu is Nanaya Jima from Love FM. Nanaya, if you can hear me, what is the current situation where you are?
So before we go or describe what is happening here, I would want to briefly summarize what Chairman Wontumi said, that Bernard Edjibo-Isiakun, because he spoke in Chi. What he said is that the NPP is uniting for the next election. That's the by-election that comes off on the 23rd of next month. Now, when they unite, they know about the independent candidate who has vowed or who has already shown his posters and is willing to again contest in the parliamentary election. Now, the independent candidate, Mr. Kwaku Dua, in the previous election, that's in 2020, was in the race and he lost by less than 3,000 votes. So all indications show that Mr. Kwaku Dua is one of the people who is very strong when it comes to the parliamentary election, which will be held next month. That's the by-election. Now, what Mr. Wontumi is saying, or Chairman Wontumi is saying, is that in 2020, most of the people voted for him because they believe that he was an NPP person who was aggrieved with how the NPP were doing their things in the constituency. Now they have another opportunity to unite, but he is not for the New Patriotic Party, and everything shows that he is now in bed with the opposition NDC. So due to this reason, the party should unite against him, and when it should come to the election, the NPP members should vote against him. Also, he says that after this election, that's after the primaries, which is being held today, the NPP will ensure that they deal with his candidature. That is what, in brief, Mr. Chairman Edjibo-Isiakun, that Chairman Wontumi has been saying to the people of Kumawu. Now, if you come to this place right now, that is where the election is being held, you can see that all the delegates are seated. The few who have been able to go into the ballot box to cast their ballots are leaving the area. They are outside, just outside the premises. Now they are voting in turns. Whenever you hear your polling area mentioned, the 5 people come out, walk straight into the EC area. That is where the EC is. They go through the process and are given the ballot papers. They go into the ballot booths, cast their ballot, and when they are done, they leave the place calmly. So as you can see, the place is very calm and things are moving smoothly. But before we got here, the various executives from the national to the regional of the NPP took turns to speak to the people, and the message that, or the key thing that ran through the message that they've been given is unity. They want the party to unite, close all ranks, especially after this primaries, close the ranks and unite and ensure that they are able to go into the parliamentary election again and win the seat for the New Patriotic Party. This is coming on the back of the diminishing electoral fortunes of the party in the Kumawu constituency. I have with me the regional youth organizer, Mr. Safo Raphael Patrick, who have been monitoring the election closely, and we'll be having a little discussion, a brief discussion about what is happening here today. So far, how do you see the election?
Nana, good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. I think you guys have been here since morning, and after the demise of our hard-working MP, Honorable Philip Baswa, as part of the party's rules and regulation, there was therefore the need for us to organize our internal election to select one person, that one person who will be acceptable to almost all the parties, so that we can present that person for the 23rd, next month 23rd by-election. And since morning, the principles of democratic processes have all been laid. It was all the reason why the General Secretary asked all the aspirants to take an oath before the party delegates, so that if the elections are over, at least any of them, whether win or lose, all of us can come together to face the NDC in the next the by-election that we are going to have. And so far, I think everything has been very good. I think you are witnesses to everything.
Now, before this election, I realized that you visited the Kumawu constituency a number of times, going around speaking to the delegates and also members of the New Patriotic Party. It's obvious that the NPP in this constituency is not as united as you as party executives expect them. Now, today, you've made them swear oath to unite and also close party ranks, ensure that the NPP is able to retain the seat. Now, from the oath that they took, do you think that these people will be sincere and stand by the oath?
But you know, Nanajima, Kumawu is a traditional NPP seat, and the people in this constituency are all traditional supporters of our party. It is a public knowledge, Nana. It is a public knowledge that there were some issues. If you check the electoral performance of our party in 2016-2020 elections, the results, you can see that there were issues. If you look at the performance of the president in the 2016 elections and the late Philip Baswa compared to the NDC and John Mahama, you could see that Nana Akufo-Addo won in this constituency. Philip Baswa also won the elections in 2016. But in 2020, because of the emergence of the independent candidates, there were some, the MP, Philip Baswa had, I think, 14,000. The independent candidate had 11,000. The NDC had over 2,600. If you put the independent candidates' vote and Philip Baswa's vote together, it comes closer to President Akufo-Addo's results. So everybody accepts the fact that there were some issues, internal disagreement. There were allegations of the fact that at least some of our party executives were even supporting the independent candidates. So after the demise of our hard-working Philip Baswa, there was therefore the need for the party to come to the constituency and engage the family, engage the traditional leaders, and also engage the party supporters. That is the delegate. We have gone through all the processes, and I think so far, so good. We have the kind of unity that we need. If the NPP want to consolidate power, if the NPP want to add up this constituency in terms of MP and numbers to the numbers we have in Parliament, I think we are going to need that unity, that united force, that togetherness. It's the reason why we wanted to bring all the aspirants before the delegate to swear an oath, commit themselves to the principles of engagement, that when the elections are over, at least we can all come together as a united force to go for the by-election. I think nobody can isolate him or herself from the anything that we have done here. So I think so far everything has been cool.
This will be my final question to you. When we came here during the speeches by the various executives of the party, it looks like the name of the independent candidate was running through almost every speech here. Will you say that the party is afraid of this candidature?
You see, we are not afraid of the independent candidate, but we can also underestimate the strength of the independent candidate. Looking at the performance and the results of the independent candidate in the previous election, one thing that we have accepted too is the fact that the independent candidate rose on the name of the New Patriotic Party in the previous election when there was disunity among our ranks. So it's the reason why almost all the speakers who spoke mention the name of the independent candidate. But like I said, we don't want to underestimate the strength of the independent candidate. But one thing we need is, if the NPP should have a united force, we should have a candidate who will be accepted, who will be acceptable or accepted by the people of Kumawu. If the people decide to own the person who will be elected today, I don't think anybody, including even the independent candidate, can stand the forces of the party in this constituency. Let's be honest, Kumawu is a traditional constituency for the New Patriotic Party. If you look at the historical performance of the NPP in this constituency, you can, if not the emergence of the independent candidate in 2020, I don't think there would have been any tension, there would have been any perceived fear of the possibility of the NPP losing this year. Why? Why will the NPP lose? Why will the NPP lose Kumawu constituency if not the emergence of the independent candidate? It's the reason why we want to go into the by-election with a united force. We want to go into the by-election with all the forces within our party. That is why from the first national chairman, the regional chairman, the general secretary, the national chairman, and all the regional and constituency executives of our party are all here to come and support and be evidence to the process, so that at least the oath that we took will not be in vain. Right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patrick. Now, we have a number of the members of parliament from the Ashanti region all here to also help ensure that the election is free and fair. Now, not long ago, it was announced that the EC is done with its work. That's the voting process itself. All the delegates, that the 420 delegates, have been called out to cast their ballots. So everything is done. As you can see, the EC is almost folding up, and very soon we'll see that the ballots are poured out for counting. Now, before I exit, I would want to go through the 5 people who have been cleared or who are contesting this election. Now, we have Kwame Apiakubi, who is first on the ballot. Dr. Abuajida Costa is third on the ballot. Mind you, the second person who was supposed to be on the ballot is Yalban. Unfortunately, before the election, a few hours before the election, he pulled out of the election. So from Dr. Abuajida Costa, the next is Amasewa, who is fourth on the ballot paper. Ernest Yao Enim, and finally Osei Shrie Kwame Bempa was also part of the people who put themselves out for the election here today. So election is over, voting process itself is over, EC is folding up, and very soon we will have the EC count the ballot for the winner of this election to be declared. Mind you, the main election itself, that the parliamentary election itself, is slated for the 23rd of next month.
Thank you so much, Nana Yalbot Jima of Love FM. Now